Alrighty, back at it again with another week of Yu-Gi-Oh content, and we are off to Duelist Kingdom where we are going to see Bandit Keith take on Bakura himself. As Command Performance is the random card that is shown. Now the Performer Pal, they are quite a big archetype that was in some of the later series. Oh, I say later. I don't think they're actually that late compared to some of the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but either way, we are off and started on this one. Bandit Keith's perspective, and he has drawn a Battle Footballer. There's Guardian of the Throne Room as well. There's Mechanical Snail. He's also got the Zero Ritual and Stop Defense. So it's not a bad opening hand from Bandit Keith. Bakura goes down with Yami. So that will give a few of his monsters a 200-point buffer. And Ghoul with an Appetite is played unknowingly for Bakura. That Battle Footballer is a strong defense, especially for this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Bandit Keith does have Guardian of the Throne Room. That's a 1650. That could get rid of Ghoul with an Appetite. Bakura is usually confident with his Ghoul with an Appetite. It's one of his better 4-star monsters. Alright, 50 life points off Bakura. He's down to 7450. And it looks like Bandit Keith may be taking the early initiative in this one. Bakura now without a monster. It is his turn though. 5 cards in hand. And throws down a face down defense and goes straight to his end phase. Alright, Bandit Keith has drawn Time Machine. Now he does have the Launcher Spider, and it looks like he may be about to play it, and he is. So I actually pulled Launcher Spider in a booster pack. I think it was Metal Raiders that it came in. I actually pulled the Launcher Spider many years ago. And Stop Defense is played by Bandit Keith as well. It was Souls of the Forgotten. And it's only an 1100, so Bandit Keith has just pulled another 1100 life points off of Bakura. So Bakura's at 6350, Bandit Keith yet to lose any. And with Launcher Spider on the field, it's not going to be a lot of monsters that Bakura has that can get over that. So Bandit Keith in a very good position here. And oh, he's just drawn 0. Yeah, he could summon it, but he would have to get rid of his Launcher Spider to do so. It's an 8-star monster for the ritual. Bandit Keith does have Bandit Keith does have a lot of high-level monsters, so very likely that Bandit Keith will be able to get 0 to the field. As Bakura throws down another defense, and defending alone won't be able to win him the match. He'll have to draw something soon. Bandit Keith has just drawn Pendulum Machine, and isn't this a perfect time to summon Zero the Man? Zero will also get a 200-point bonus from Yami as well. It is a fiend. And look at that, 3,000 attack points for Zero the Man. And this is looking very bleak for Bakura, who has thrown down a Needleworm. Oh, Machine King was one of them. There was a Fissure there as well, but this is going from bad to worse for now for Bakura. He's just lost 3,000 points. He's down to 3,350, and Keith looks like he may be picking up the first win. Unless Bakura can pull something out, possibly on this turn. Bakura with a face-down defense and a face-down spell or trap with another face-down spell or trap. Turn change, and it is Oni Tank T34 for Bandit Keith. And this will probably be it. Bakura unlikely to be able to even block this attack here from Launcher Spider, unless he has any face downs. He's just flipped up Reverse Trap. That won't do much. It reduces 0 by 400, but alright, Electric Lizard was the card that was played, but it is all over on this one, unless Bakura can block with that other face down, which he hasn't as of yet. Only Tank T34 to finish it off. And there it is, Bandit Keith has the first win in this best of 3. And on this day of Monday, new week, how was everyone's weekend? What did I do? Actually, I did see my cousin and I tried to fix up her guitar a little bit. She has this electric guitar, man. The string action was like crazy high, but adjusted the bridge a little bit, but it is a very cheap guitar as well. There's only so much you can do with cheap guitars sometimes. As Bandit Keith wins rock, paper, scissors for match 2. And he elects to go first as well. Coming up after this one, there is Battle City between... it would have been My Valentine and Bakura, but instead of having Bakura play twice, it'll be Rex Raptor and Loomis and Umber instead. And there is Jaden going up against Yugi in the conclusion of his series as well. Alright, end phase for Keith after playing a defense. There's a chakra ritual for Bakura. And Bakura again has drawn Yami on his first turn. He does have the Portrait Secret and he plays that as well. Oh, he could have gone with Brain Control and Patrician straight out the bat there, but... Oh, no, sorry, no, he couldn't. Brain Control's... I just seen it on the screen then, it's only a face-up monster. As Ground Attacker Bugroth is summoned, and this may not be good for Keith. Oh, there's Machine Conversion Factory too. And another face-down spell or trap. In goes Ground Attacker Bugroth, which does get over Portrait Secret with that equipped card. Alright, Bakura has just drawn the white magical hat. Brain Control was put in Bakura's deck to take the place of Change of Heart. It's the same effect, except Brain Control you need to pay 800 life points. Change of Heart is banned. At least on this game it is. And there it is, the Ground Attacker Bugroth is brought to Bakura's side of the field, where Patrician of Darkness is summoned. Now, Patrician of Darkness is a very devious effect. You choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. Alright, Patrician of Darkness in for an attack, and ooh, that face down was Golgoyle. 1600 defense. However, Bakura does have white magical hat in his hand as well. That could get cards out of Bandit Keith's hand. So Bandit Keith might be in a spot of bother here, and oh dear. No monsters to play for Bandit Keith. There's Dakuru Roizu, the Grim Reaper. And white magical hat, if that does life point damage, Keith is going to lose a random card out of his hand. White magical hat in for the attack. Got a 200 point buffer from Yami. So 6800 for Keith now. And it's a middle card, and oh, it's Zera the Mant. Bandit Keith loses Zera the Mant's Ritual Monster card straight from the hand, so we will not be seeing Zera in this match. Big blow for Keith, although he would have had to have had the Ritual card itself as well. The Zera Ritual. Keith throws down a Fissure. It gets rid of white magical hat, so at least that effect won't be able to be active anymore. But Keith again has not got any monsters to play. Unless they are all high levels, or they could also be magic and traps. But Bandit Keith appears to not have drawn a hand to help him at the start of this match. Bakura has got rid of all of Keith's defenses and is really laying on the pressure now with Patrician of Darkness. Keith down to 1600 life points. And with Dakuru Roizu in Bakura's hand as well, this match is probably over on next turn unless Keith can draw something here. He goes... Ooh, only tank T34. And, ooh, Keith, human player, may have just overlooked the effect of Patrician of Darkness, but I don't think it's going to make any difference in the end. Unless Keith has decided to give up, but... Okay, down goes Chain Energy. Well, that pretty much seals it anyway. Keith would be down to a maximum of 3 cards being able to be played. Only tank is destroyed, even if that was in defense mode. It wouldn't have mattered. Bakura would have played Dakuru Roizu in attack anyway and finished it off. Keith pretty much surrendering the second match. So we are at 1-1, and we will go to a tiebreaker. Now, Bandit Keith is first. And I think I'll start displaying the ladder in the standings at the start rather than the end. They are at the end of all the videos, but someone did say about could we see something of the standings, and I guess waiting to the end of every video can be... It makes more sense. I'm actually thinking about it now. It does make more sense to have it at the start of the video as well, and maybe even at post. Alright, Bandit Keith's perspective now. He's got Blast Sphere. There's a Dark Hole as well. There's a Gargoyle and a Metal Zoa. Metal Zoa is quite a difficult one to summon though. Alright, there's Shovel Crusher. Bakura only went with a face down defense. And Keith elects for Blast Sphere. So if Bakura's monster destroys that, then it will... Or if Bakura's monster attacks it, Blast Sphere will connect itself to Bakura's monster. However, Bakura went with another face down defense. There's Limiter removal. And Keith, may have been a misclick with Gargoyle. Looked like, because this game doesn't allow you to take that back. However, Keith has decided to go for the attack instead. So Brave, Skulldock Maron. And Blast Sphere is going to target the other card, and it's 4-starred Ladybug of Doom. Oh dear, Bandit Keith has lost his field. He does still have that Dark Hole, and he does still have a Limiter removal, so he does have some counterplay. He's only got Shovel Crusher to work with though at the moment. Down goes Fiend Scorpion. And oh dear, okay, Chain Energy. Not good for Bandit Keith here. So Bakura going in for the attack with 900 and 1350. That's going to give Keith... what's that? So 4650. So Keith has about 9... He can play 9 cards throughout the rest of this match. So he's going to have to make him count. There's a Barrel Dragon. Keith has got some strong monsters. He's basically got no choice now but to activate Dark Hole. Alright, Chain Energy activates again. Every card that's played will cost 500 points. And Keith does not have a lot of life points remaining. So he has put Limiter removal down, so you can activate that if something goes after Shovel Crusher. Alright, Shovel Crusher did get an attack in, so that will at least take a little bit out of Bakura's life points. 1 card to be exact, with the effect of Chain Energy on the field. And what does Bakura throw down here? It is Nightmare Scorpion. It's only a 900 attack, however. Keith does have Limiter removal, however... Limiter removal will destroy Shovel Crusher at the end of the battle phase anyway. Or at the end phase, I think, whenever Limiter removal kicks in. And Keith, clutch draw, he's drawn Yiba Robo. It's only a 1000 attack, but it will do for Keith going on with. So Keith will have to activate Limiter removal almost at the perfect time because it will destroy his monster as well. He's gone in for an attack with Yiba Robo. It'll cost Bakura 2 more cards out of this match. Still, Bakura with a massive life point advantage here. 4 cards in hand. And, Bakura straight to the end phase. Nothing to play at all. How about that? Alright, there's Metal Morph as well. That's also going to be... no, Keith... he didn't play it in main phase 1. He could still play it down in main phase 2. No. Decides against Metal Morph. Interesting. Is he trying to bait Bakura? If he uses Limiter removal... Bakura just goes with a face-down defense. Unless Keith wants to try and wait for Zoa so he can get Metal Zoa on the field and then maybe use Limiter removal, which would do a lot of damage, but you'd have to get Zoa to the field first. It's Metal Zoa with Limiter removal would be 6,000 attack points. And, Dakuru Roizu, the Grim Reaper, 1200 defense. Yaiba Robo cannot get through. And Keith plays down Metal Morph after all. He may really have no choice. So Keith is down to 1450 life points. Bakura at 4100. Bakura now at 3600, and he's played the one who hunts souls. Alright, Bakura goes in for the attack. However, Keith has just flipped up Metal Morph, so that's going to put Yaiba Robo's attack up by 300. Doesn't give it a new name, but we can call it Metal Yaiba Robo, as if it wasn't made out of metal enough. But a new metal coat for Yaiba Robo, who looks a bit worse for wear in the picture. He looks like he's a bit worn out, but at 1300 attack now, it'll put him over Dakuru Roizu. And Bakura is using quite a few life points. He's almost level with Keith again. Could come down to the wire in this one. Turn change back to Keith. Ooh, he's just drawn a pendulum machine. So Metal Morph does have the effect that when Bandit Keith attacks, he will get half of the target's attack added onto him as well. So you don't really want to waste Metal Morph if you don't have to. And it's reverse trap. Oh dear. Keith elected to attack, utilizing the effect of his Mega Morph. And Keith is now down to 500 life points. He decided against Pendulum Machine. And I can see why. You want to use you want to try and use the effect of Metal Morph. Keith does also have Trap Hole on the field as well. So he would have thought of himself to be a bit safe. Now, Keith cannot play any other cards. He's only got 500 life points, and as long as Chain Energy is on the field, Keith is stuck. Oh, and Bakura's just played a Monster Reborn. And he's elected for Blast Sphere. There hasn't actually been a lot of monsters destroyed in this match. And unfortunately for Keith, it looks like he may be conceding this one. He decided to stick with Metal Morph, and it may actually... maybe... Well, Limiter Removal is on the field. It does only do Keith's machines. Blast Sphere goes in for the attack. Keith has no choice. He's going to have to activate Limiter Removal now. It'll put Yaiba Robo to 2600. And there goes Blast Sphere, but it means that Yaiba Robo is going to be destroyed at the end of this turn. If it was Pendulum Machine would have done a bit more life point damage, but Dakuru Roizu would still be on the field. And Pendulum Machine would have been destroyed anyway. But then again, Pendulum Machine would have been able to win. And Keith's drawn Slot Machine. Well, it was a... Bandit Keith may have been a bit more comfortable with that Trap Hole on the field, but this was a... this could be the match that Keith let go. He decided not to play Pendulum Machine. He may have played Golgoyle in attack mode earlier as well. Very easy to misclick on this, but however, the game isn't played by AI, and Bandit Keith has been defeated in this one by Bakura. There was a few different ways that Keith could have played it differently, but he also tried to take his chance with Metal Morph, and it come back to bite him. So Bakura picks up a win, and he hasn't picked up a lot. If anything, it's surprising that Keith got knocked off being in first place. Rex Raptor and Loomis and Umbra coming up, and also Jaden going up against Yugi Moto as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.